This is Backspace Diaz, and you're watching GuyDance.
What's up, everyone? It's your friend Backspace, and for those who care or are following, I'm out here enjoying the beaches on the island of Crete, off of Greece. And right now, I just really want to talk about following your path. When I was young and I learned about Breakin and everything like that, I just wanted to be the best I could and battle people and prove my self-worth. And I think that's one of the first goals that people, want to attain when they start dancing, right? They're like, oh, I want to do those moves. Oh, I want to be the person that everyone's looking up to or respected, or being like, oh, yo, there goes that person, that person is pretty cool. And I did want that. And that was my journey, I guess, to try to train and be the best at that. But after you attain that, you're like, all right, that's cool. Now what? It becomes part of you, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm B-boy for life or whatever it is. And then you still want to grow somehow. And I kept training and training to become a better B-boy, right? And nothing mattered unless it had to do with repping where you're from or your crew or yourself. And looking back at it, it was quite the journey, but it's like, all right, that's great, and it has made me who I am today. I won't take that away from myself, but then what, right? And a lot of people, I ask them, what do you want to do with this? What's your dream? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I just want to participate in so-and-so battle and win it. And it's like, all right, but then what? And a lot of people don't know. Ask yourself, as a b-boy or b-girl or just a dancer or anyone in general, right? What do you want to do with yourself? All right. And after that, just add that, then what? Is that it? Are you done? Because once you achieve a certain goal, there's always a part of you that wants more. And that's one thing about Breakin that has always kept me going. It's like, all right, cool, I got this move and it feels good performing it. Now I want to elevate the move or flip it, and I want to create a combo with it, or maybe let me learn some more moves. And sometimes I would learn moves I didn't even like because in a competition or in a battle, it's something that you want to pull out. And sometimes I would end up falling in love with those moves, and sometimes I have moves that I don't really care about, but I guess if I need them, at least I'm ready to perform those moves. That's something that everyone should think about. What do you want to do? Do you want to be a competition dancer? Do you want to be a show dancer? Do you want to do this just because you love it? And when I was younger, I loved it, of course, but when I would ask or hear about other people what they wanted to do, and they would be like, I'm just doing this because I'm loving it, I would be confused, why, what's the point? But now that I have come across this long path and journey, it makes the most sense, because yeah, so you win a few $100s at a competition, you and 10 friends go in, pay $10 to enter a competition, and the prize is $100, and it's like that. After a while, the logistics of all of that doesn't make sense. It's like, all right, you guys got together and put money in a pot, and then the winner gets it all. And I don't know, when you think about it that way, I was like, all right, well, is that really what you want to do with yourself? And some people do, and I won't take that away. The competition element is always something that has kept people aspiring to be the best that they could be. I'm just saying that find your reasoning behind it. It's like, all right, cool, so you're the best, now what? Are you just gonna be the best and just go to places and just win battles and be like, yeah, look at me, I'm over here, I won this battle, yeah, look at me, I won a trophy or a few dollars, It's just something that you should really think about. As I grew, I realized that there's a lot of other talents that I could have pursued and opportunities, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that because I'm b-boy for life. I want to rep, I want to keep it real, right? But when you think about all of that, I think what most matters when you think about any opportunity or chance to pursue something, it's what's it gonna do for you in the long run? You know, how is it gonna make you fulfilled? Are you gonna travel the world battling, and then after, you know, the evolution of breaking happens and all these younger people coming up and you get older, you know, they're gonna start taking you out, and then what do you have? You know, a legacy of winning battles, which is cool, but what are you gonna do then at that point when you just become a legend rather than an aspiring, you know, dancer? And it's something to think about. You know, when I was young, I used to be like, oh, this person, they're going into learning popping or other elements of dance. Oh, it must be because they can't keep up with the breaking. You know, there's other b-boys out there that could smoke them, and now they're just like, oh, well, maybe I should just learn these other things. And that's how I used to think, you know. Or if someone started learning how to DJ, I'd be like, ah, they're just DJing because they can't keep up with this breaking life. And now looking back, I'm like, man, I was so dumb. Like, I should have learned these other skills. I should have learned how to DJ, you know. And I learned this a lot when there was an opportunity to work on cruise ships. You know, the first thing that they asked, they were like, all right, your resume, okay, you need a video reel, you know. And as soon as I heard that, like, I just flashed back to all these people who have pursued video editing, you know, or people who do administrative work. And these were people in my head. Looking back, I had flashbacks of just kind of like laughing at them, like, yo, this is this person, oh, they're going into video editing because, you know, like, they're whack dancers, whatever, they can't up their skills. Or like, oh, this person became a secretary because, you know, like, they couldn't keep up with it. And that just comes around and it just, you know, gets back at you, and you're like, damn, I should have, you know, like, learned some of these skills. So what happened was I had to go crawling to these other friends that I never really cared about, you know, coming up, because I was like, well, they're not pulling their weight, they're not getting physical with it. And I had to actually talk to them and ask them for favors or ask for advice. And, you know, because people are so nice out there and they probably supported me and believed in me, they actually helped me, and I'm forever blessed with those opportunities. And more like looking back at that lesson, you know, you always appreciate everyone around you. You know, I used to be like, well, what's up with the crew? Like, this person's only doing this, they're not as good, you know, like, they're not gonna help me win battles. But coming back around full circle, like, friendship and your ties that you have with people, doesn't matter if they even dance. Like, that's very important for your own growth. And if you're not growing within yourself, all you're doing is advancing your dance. And although that is cool, there's a lot more to develop in yourself. You know, I became an aspiring dancer, winning battles, traveling, whatever. But at the end of the day, when I went back home, it would be, you know, to live with my moms, or to live in my brother's basement, or something like that, you know. And it's like, okay, like, you're doing this, you look good on your social media, but what are you really doing for yourself? Can you really hold your own in life? And there's a lot of people who are neglecting that because they want to pursue this or look cool on their social media, or even like fake like they're cool in real life, and in reality they're like, you know, not the best people. And I was that person, you know, and I was lucky to have a lot of opportunities to kind of get out of that funk, you know. So a lot of people even tell me like, yo, Backspace, you're so nasty, you're doing this, you're doing that, why don't you keep battling, you know? And it's like, well, I used to want to have something to prove, you know, and like at this point it's like, all right, if I go win a battle, like, I'm a bully, right? Or if I lose a battle, It means I just don't got it anymore, right? So I'm kind of like in the middle. It's like, what do I do? And all I could do, I guess, to stay relevant or to even give my part of my story or to get it off of my chest is just put these thoughts out there. And I'm sure that a lot of people feel the same depending on where they are in their journey. You know, when you're younger, you want to aspire and do all those great things. And I support all of that, you know, and that even keeps me inspired to keep going. And if I could help or give advice, then definitely, I think that's a beautiful thing. And when you're older, you know, you're still battling or doing your shows, or maybe you developed a different skill and now you're doing that. And that's a beautiful thing too. You know, like when I was young, it was like, yo, who's got more top rock? Who's got more footwork? Who's got more power? I got to develop one or all three things, you know? And then it's like, oh, wait, you need freezes. Oh, wait, you need this. And that was always like the constant go get it, you know? And I loved it, and I still love it now. But more than that, it's like, all right, so you're a nasty dancer. Now what? You know, there's a job opportunity. You don't know how to fill out an application. You don't know how to, you know, like submit your demo reel because you were too busy smoking someone that you never really thought like, yo, I should put these things together, maybe some highlights, you know, or you never stepped into a classroom to help people and get that on your list of, like, you know, experiences to share, or to have people be like, oh, this person might be a good teacher for this other opportunity. You know, not everything out there is just battles. And I think with a lot of cultures or areas that have interest in like what we do, there's a lot more opportunities, and you're not gonna smoke your way to the top. You know, you're not just gonna like take people out and be like, yeah, I'm the illest, you know, hire me to teach your kids. Because like a good dancer doesn't mean that you're a good teacher, or if you're, you know, a good teacher doesn't mean you're a good dancer. There's all those types of things. People flip those things around, but you never know, you're never gonna know how good you are at doing any of those things unless you try to up those experiences too, you know. So there was a point where it was like, yo, got my top rock, got my footwork, got my this, all right, but how good are you, you know, teaching? Great, all right. How good are you at like giving a speech about, you know, this thing? Can you talk in front of people? How are you with crowds? You know, like all these opportunities to grow came from that, you know. And a lot of people turn that down because they think like, nah, son, I want to just battle. And it's like, yo, take advantage of those opportunities, because, you know, I may not be battling or whatever, I may not be at your jam, but it's because I'm out here, you know, just enjoying life, you know. There's no one to battle out here, you know, and like that part sucks. There's no one to really dance with, but I'm also not living out here, you know. I mean, if I did, I would probably try to push what we do out here. But since I'm here for a little while, you know, I'm just gonna take it all in, and these experiences help you grow and help you become the person that you are. And sometimes when you grow as a person, sometimes you double back, you hit that dance floor, and your mentality is different. You know, I used to see people, they would leave for like the military, or they would take a hiatus because they would have to, like, you know, take care of something first, and then they would come back. And in my mind, when I was younger, I'd be like, why are they doing this? They've come so far, why are you gonna quit? Not knowing that it's not that you're quitting, you're just like stepping off to the side, you know, and then taking care of some business before coming back. You know, you could compare it to like race car driving, you know, like sometimes you got to hit that pit stop, you know, you got to get those tires on, you got to fill up with gas before you head back on that road and do what you got to do. And I think that's like very important. You know, I'm not saying that you should quit what you're doing, take a break and come back if you don't have a reason. You know, sometimes rest is good, and if you're gonna come back stronger, that's awesome. You know, as long as you don't come back and like overdo yourself and hurt yourself, I think that most people can handle that. So just wanted to share that out there. You know, follow that path of yours, and don't be afraid to take your opportunities. You know, whether or not you think it's gonna hinder your progress as a dancer, it may not hinder your progress as a person, and sometimes that's more important. So keep that in mind when you're out there rocking and someone asks you for an opportunity. You know, don't just take any opportunity also, you know, like, yeah, you're hungry, but make sure that you're respected with your opportunities. You know, if people are not trying to hire you for what you're worth, who you're worth, then sometimes that's also a great experience, learning how to say no thank you, I appreciate the offer, but you know, I want to pursue something that is more relevant to my growth, you know. So keep that in mind when you do all that. Hope you guys are out there striving, enjoying your days, and I really hope that you guys are checking me out and taking all of this in. Thank you all for checking me out. Do what you love what you do, be inspired. I support you all, I love you all, and that love, I hope that it helps me grow as well, you know. Let's stay tuned, and I'll talk to y'all soon.